Hellmaster EX. This award-winning system features the first single-engine joystick with digital electric steering and new autopilot capability. See Hellmaster EX in action at a Yamaha Outboard dealer or visit YamahaOutboards.com.
Hey, tune into this week's video for an open boat special where we answer all the questions from a lot of the viewers from all of our social media platforms. We have a preview of what we saw in ICAST and what's to come. And we also have reports of cobia, drum, fluke, and much more. Tune in this week.
The Fishing News is sponsored by these fine partners.
It's a stud!
First up, we have a little look at the digital edition of the Fisherman magazine. And in this digital issue, we have a surf column that's on shore-bound fluke finding. That's from Jenni Ackerman. Also, we have an offshore column. It's called Show Me the Mahi. Check this one out if you're looking to get some mahi on the offshore grounds coming up. Also, the age-old debate continues. Monofilament versus braided line. Take a look at this inshore feature. And if you guys like clamming, I know I do. We've shot some videos on it in the past. We have one from the galley. Clams Casino, absolutely delicious. Check this one out as well. The Fisherman's own Jenni Ackerman has another open boat special for us. This week, it's a Q&A from the viewers. All those questions that they've been asking, she's gonna answer them. Check it out.
Hey everyone. Now, on this week's open boat, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We all just got back from ICAST. I missed you guys. So we're going to be doing a Q&A. So you guys can ask me any fishing questions that you might have. What I want you guys to do is drop them in the comments section of just the solo open boat episode that airs on Sunday at 6 p.m. Don't put it in the video fishing forecast one. Save those comments for giving praises to the editors. But when it comes out on Sunday, you can drop a question. And we're going to do a follow-up open boat where I answer your questions. And you might even get a solo open boat devoted to just me answering your question. So post any fishing questions you have, whether it could be technical stuff or when can I target this fish or what's the best way to catch it. And we're going to do a follow-up video. But in between, we have a ton of awesome interviews, new fluking tactics that are producing well off the surf, and some other open boat content that I'm really looking forward to show you guys. So remember to post your fishing question in the solo open boat video, and I can't wait to see all the questions you guys have. I'm very excited to answer them, and I'll catch you guys on next week's open boat.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing, that nothing says no to fish bites.
All right, we got our weekly update for the Dreamboat and the Coastal Kayak Clash with Tim C. Smith.
And now the Dreamboat Fishing Challenge entries for the week. We had 2 fluke entries. The first entry is from New England subscriber Lori Macha of Baltic, Connecticut, weighing in at 11.46 pounds, placing her in 6th. And then there's Joseph Kalo, a Long Island subscriber from Paterson, New York, with his fluke coming in at 10.2 pounds, placing him in 7th in the fluke category. In the sea bass category, we have New England subscriber Eric Husbo from Falmouth, Massachusetts, weighing in at 4.4 pounds, which places him in 1st place. Long Island subscriber Ken Sparks weighs in his sea robin at 2.3 pounds, placing him in 6th. The leaderboard now looks like this. Scott Waterman with 17 points. Anthony Savino dropped a point with 15. Brian Zembretsky at 13 points. Plenty of time to enter your fish to win the Steigercraft powered by Yamaha and other great prizes. But you must be a Fisherman subscriber to enter. We can't stress enough that those weigh-in forms must be completely filled out. Please make sure before you leave the weigh station to look over the form to make sure they are correct. We have 1 new entry in the Coastal Kayak Clash. Gregory Vergare of Long Island caught this 17.25-inch porgy just a quarter-inch short of Justin Oser's. So the standings remain the same. Bob Wagner and Justin Oser are still stuck in a virtual tie at the top with 9 points apiece. Mike Radzuzinski is in third place, still within striking distance with 6 points. For all the details and how to enter, visit thefisherman.com/contests.
All right, let's check our upcoming events. Starting on July 27th is the Great Gun Mauritius Anglers Take a Vet Fishing event. Then on July 27th is the Learn to Fish at Connecticut River. Great place to fish. Check this one out if you always thought about fishing the place. On August 8th is a Town of Islip Public Freshwater Clinic. Then on August 10th is the 5th Annual Freeport Tuna Club Fluke Shootout Tournament. On August 17th is the 8th Annual Summer Fluke Slam. Then from the 24th to the 25th is the Greatest Bluefish Tournament on Earth. For all the details, visit thefisherman.com/events.
August 24th and 25th on Long Island Sound. WICC Surfside Hotel Greatest Bluefish Tournament on Earth. $25,000 for the heaviest catch, plus additional prizes equaling $40,000. Sign up now at bluefishtournament.com.
All right, let's head over to the map. I got a bunch of reports in while I was away at ICAST. Let's see what's going on around the island. First up, Tom Lucano. He went out early Sunday morning, brought back in a massive 11.22-pound doormat fluke. That was in Great South Bay. This beast was waiting to Chasing Tails Bait and Tackle in Oakdale. Took a shot bucktail rig, tipped with a gulp. And the boys from Magnolia, they sent this over to me as well. It's from Magnolia Bait and Tackle. It's a giant cobia, 65-pounder to be exact. Caught it on the boat in that area. Steve and Vinny, they got this fish together. Impressive catch. These cobia just showing up. Another cobia, 50-incher. This one's out of Jones Inlet. Mike Moachetti, he caught this one out of that area. Another nice cobia. Anthony Nuzzi, he reports in with a 29-inch doormat fluke caught this past weekend in the South Hold area. They told me they were fishing that traditional squid and spearing combo. Over by Breezy Point, Captain Rich Cowling, he caught this giant beast of a black drum. That was caught last week as well. Jacqueline Molina, she also reported in. She sent me a nice picture of this really nice cobia. It was caught on the western end of the island. Again, another nice cobia. Seems like these fish just showed up recently. You got to get on them right now. Tommy Brennan, he landed this big sea robin on a shrimp at the Sore Thumb. Was his official first catch from the surf. And it's good to see because there's been a lack of sea robins this year and they are eligible for Dreamboat. So worthy catch, awesome catch. Nice job on the first one from the surf, Tommy. Lizette Lamont, she let us know that the Shinnecock Bay fluke bite has been turning on. She had 2 keeper fluke, including this bigger one that was 24 inches, 3.5 pounds. It was in 8 feet of water west of the Ponquag Bridge. Then Alyssa Sussman, she rounds out my reports for the week. She had a limited fluke from the Miss Montauk, of course, out in Montauk. If you do have a notable catch yourself, email me at mbroderick@thefisherman.com. I will try and get into the weekly video fishing forecast or the magazine.
For nearly 90 years, the Viking fleet from Montauk has been putting anglers on the fish. Whether you jump on a half-day trip, fish the deep for an overnight adventure targeting big game, a day trip to Block, or a sunset cruise, their experienced captains and crew have you covered. VikingFleet.com.
Meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen, his weather report is brought to you by Premium Bucktails. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. We'll check that weekend forecast. You can always check your favorite apps, weather tools, weather sites, whatever you got. This is a general heads up, general overview on the upcoming weekend. So the big story, fishing-wise, the cobia and the sharks have arrived in the ocean south of Long Beach and probably Jones Beach too, 40 to 60 feet of water. I found some of the better action, some of the more nervous bunker schools were deeper. May want to go out to about 50 feet. Inshore, not as much, but you'll probably get hit right away with some of these brown sharks, very typical, ranging from pretty small, 15, 20 pounds, but upwards of about 100 pounds. We had some pretty big ones now starting to get into the action there. But you got to work through these. It's just very typical, the cobia, to try to get one of them. Go pod to pod, just move around a bit. Again, you'll fight these sharks for a little bit. They'll give you tackle a test. And then if you're lucky like I was on Wednesday, Persistence paid off. I was able to get a 40-inch, 21-pound cobia south of Long Beach in 52 feet of water. So my first ever. I was very happy to finally get one and land one. Waiting at Bay Park Fishing Station. I was one of many, many anglers I read about getting lots of these cobia, anywhere between 40 and 70 pounds. They get very, very big. So this was kind of a mini for me. But you know what? Got a cobia. I was very happy to finally land one and get one in the boat, so it was kind of cool. All right, so the weather this weekend, I'm going to try to do some cobia fishing. Looks great. Low to mid-70 water temperatures came up. Probably has something to do with the cobia arriving. And it looks like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the weather's going to cooperate. All 3 days on the map look terrific. Don't see much wind Saturday or Sunday. Light northeast, light westerly on Sunday. A little onshore in the afternoon. Waves look good, 1 to 2, maybe 2 to 4 way offshore. Maybe you're thinking of going to the canyon, doing some tuna fishing, going offshore. But everything looks great. Montauk looks good. The Sound looks good. 70s, 80s this weekend. Temperature-wise, not too hot, not too humid. The Guru looks good. A little chop on Friday, but not bad. And then Saturday, Sunday, pretty much good. Picture perfect in terms of the wind. So we'll give it 3 green checks Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Always a go to get out and do some great fishing. So if you get into it, enjoy, catch them up, and have a great weekend, and be safe as always. Matt, back to you.
Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Well, short and sweet report this week. Unfortunately, I'm not in my usual spot, but the offshore report is very good. There's plenty of tuna offshore, some marlin, a lot of big, nice bull mahi, as a lot of you have probably heard. And there's plenty of quality big eyes being caught too. I got a report of a couple guys getting big eyes up to 250 pounds and a very consistent yellowfin bite. Closer inshore, the bluefin tuna bite's still going strong, probably within anywhere from 10 to 15, 20 miles. Up and down Long Island is going really well. The striped bass is kind of slowing down a little bit in Montauk, but they're picking away on live eels at night and still getting some bigger quality bass. But during the day, this heat wave has kind of slowed everything down a little bit. Still plenty of large bluefish. I had Mike Dean and his son out this past week. We had a lot of fun picking away on some nice bluefish. And the sea bass and the fluke is definitely going strong. So there's plenty of options. Long Island's good for that. And we will see you next week. Thank you, Matt.
From Sag Harbor, Will and Andy.
Thanks, Matt. So report this week out of Sag Harbor. The porgy sea bass bite has been pretty solid. Weakfish has also been very solid, surprisingly. I kind of slowed down for a little bit, but now has picked back up. A lot of shorts, but still pretty solid fish. The striped bass have kind of moved a little bit further east, and also west through Shinnecock, just more out towards the ocean. Fishing around those inlets has been pretty good for them. Around the bay and Sag Harbor area, not quite as much. And the fluking has also been pretty decent, again, both east and west, especially out by Gardiner's Island and Montauk, as well as Shinnecock. So hopefully that bite continues, guys. We're really in the heat of the summer now. Very exciting. Plenty of time to get out there on the water. Hope for some good weather. So back to you, Matt.
From Shinnecock, we have Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Not a whole lot going on with striped bass out here. There is a lot of bunker around, a lot of whales, a lot of porpoises. Really good fishing going on at the Hampton Reef. Went out on the Hampton Lady Happy Hour trip this past Friday with my son, his buddy, ran into a couple other guys on the boat, and we caught a tremendous amount of ling. It was just about like every drop, which was fun. Some short sea bass, even came up with out of season, probably just a little bit too short blackfish. So a lot of fun. Our buddy Howie and his son Gabe was fairly new to fishing. Did a nice job on the sea bass. So way to go, Gabe. Really great job. I know we'll see at the rail a lot more in the future. There's some spotting of cobia here and there. I haven't heard of any catches in this area, but just really to the west. So, with those bunker pods around, definitely going to try to get out there and work some of those, cobia, maybe a brown shark. But the only kind of like other inshore visitor that's still around seems to be the blues. A little bit bigger than cocktail size, a little bit pesky if you're trying for fluke from shore, but also a good way to bend a rod in kind of the summer doldrums. There are bigger bluefish out of Montauk, and I know that's Tim O'Rourke's neck of the woods. He was gracious enough to donate a charter for the Manhattan Cup auction, and my hand went right up when that came to the auction block. So we did that the other day, myself, my son, and a buddy. Got in some really nice sized fish on a spin rod. My buddy got a few on the fly, and Tim was able to give my son an incredible lesson in throwing a fly. He kind of got the hang of it, just didn't connect, but soon enough he will. Tuna's going pretty well. It does seem like a lot of the fish are further out. Did hear some maybe a little bit closer off of Montauk, but for the most part, I know Montauk Canyon Challenge was a big success. Eric Collins of Capital Fishing was on a 90-foot Viking, the Checkmate. They got into a ton of fish. I believe they came in fourth, shared the bounty with me, so I was happy to get some big eye and yellowfin from them and have a couple of great meals from that. Haven't heard much about Quambra, but things are happening, so this is the time definitely to get out there if you can. Hampton's Offshore Invitational is coming up in a few weeks, so that should be a good one as well. So for now, that's it. Get out there, fish this weekend. Let us know how you do. Back to you, Matt.
Hey, let's check in with Hawaiian Dan.
Aloha, and thanks, Matt. Aloha, friends. I'm Hawaiian Dan of TalkFishTV.com, reporting on the central North Shore, nearshore region of Long Island, where I've been zipping around with my Seagull Inflatable Fast Cat 14 catamaran scare from Seagull.com. And it never seems to amaze me how things can change from one week to the next. So be sure to subscribe to TalkFishTV.com and the Fisherman magazine so you don't miss out on a single report. The bays, harbor, and sound are completely flooded now with 1 to 3 inch rain bait, which is going to make fishing for porgies, sea bass, fluke, weakfish, and schoolie stripers absolutely incredible. But they have some competition in town because the once sparse pods of bunker have now turned into a complete bunker invasion. At this stage in the season, small baits will result in smaller fish and big baits equal big fish. Now here's a few striped bass tips I'm sharing through constantfishingcontact@gmail.com, where you can sign up for real-time fishing intel, and I'll share them here with the Fisherman magazine as well. Tide, bait, time of day, and timing are everything. Tide. Collectively fish the entire tide cycle so you can gather enough intel to really dial things in. Observe and note everything. Bait. Follow the bait. Fish live to eat and breed. Find the bait, find the fish. Time. Like us, fish don't feed the same way all the time, so find out when they're the hungriest or how to trigger a bite when they seem to be lockjawed. And last but not least is timing. Either schedule your sessions or learn how and where they're actively feeding when you can't get out. Now if you like this information and want to learn more, reach out to me at constantfishingcontact@gmail.com. Now get off those couches. Let's support one another. Grab some friends and get out there and fish. Remember to make someone smile today and every day. And until next week, stay safe out there, my friends, and keep spreading that aloha. Now back to you, Matt.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, Captain Al Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island report. Typical summer, type fishing right now. A lot of short fluke, a few real big keepers. I know of a 9.5 pound fluke caught this week. So there are a couple of good fish in between. You got to weed through the small stuff. Occasional weak fish still early morning. Bottom fishing is excellent. Some really big porgies. I'm talking like size of like a hubcap. Real big fish. Some triggerfish showed up as well. And so bottom fishing is excellent. Snappers at the dock is starting to show. For the kids, crabbing is good. So we're in that summer routine and things are holding up well and the weather looks great for this weekend, Matt. So we'll talk to you next week, let you know what happens.
Now the latest from All Pro Markets and Tackle in Lindenhurst.
Thanks, Matt. The bite is getting hot just like the sea temperature is, which means it's time to get to the outside. I'm hearing great reports of some good-sized fluke out on the Fire Island Reef, the Hempstead Reef, and the AB Reef. The reports haven't really come back from the cholera. I think some guys haven't ran that far yet. I haven't gone out there yet myself either. But I do know that especially on that AB Reef in that area there, there's some good fluke being pulled off that reef out there. One of the issues that you may get with some of the a little less experienced fishermen is that the current is pretty quick. So what you may want to do in that situation is switch over to a fluke spoon. We call ours here at the All Pro shop the Badonkadonk spoon. You're working on a 3-way, so you can use enough weight to get it down. Meanwhile, it's going to give you plenty of action. I like using killies on it. The killie gives you plenty of action. You don't have to really do much with it. So that's a nice way to target some of these flatties on the reefs and off the wrecks and around those wrecks too. Don't forget, you don't have to just fish that wreck. Get around the wreck, and you'll be surprised what you could pull up on those. With that being said, if you can't get to the outside, you can still find some decent fish, mostly on the outgoing tide. We've been finding on the outgoing tide, in the deeper areas of the channels, the state channels, Gilgo, way on back. You could keep going west to like the Zacks Bay area, working those areas. Again, it seems like killies are the bait of choice at the moment. Again, with a good drift, we'll go with a spoon, but if the drift is a little lazy, you could work it on a high-low. So those seem to be the two best setups right now for the fluke. Don't forget, you could anchor up around the bridges over at Kismet, Saw Thumb, Ocean Beach, Tanner's Park area. Use some clam, you got some nice sized blowfish still around. That bite is picking up. I hear it's a blast doing that. Some kingfish, some decent sized fish also being picked up. If you could get to the outside and you could travel a little bit or, hit a few spots, jigging sea bass. You're going to get the bigger sea bass. So try to refrain going out there with like clam or a plastic bait of some kind. You'll attract a lot of the smaller sea bass. If you work a jig, we love the flooded bait jig at the All Pro shop. We love that jig there. It has plenty of action. You don't have to be a jig master to use it. It kind of catches fish all on its own. You just got to get it down, bounce it around there. The bigger sea bass, they're very aggressive. They will attack it. And the fight is just incredible on that. So that's something to consider. At the All Pro shop this week, we've got live killies, and we've got them in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So come on down, load up on your killies, and have a great time. Also, on Friday, we have Fridays with Frank. Free dino dogs and live music, table games. It's a great time. Come out, bring the family. You come by boat. We got plenty of slips. You could come by car, drive up, walk in. It's great. It's a great time. Listen, it's the summer. We should be enjoying ourselves because by the time we snap our fingers, bang, winter.
From Jones Beach Bait and Tackle and Capt Bait Tackle and Fuel, Brendan Rutigliano.
Thanks so much. I just want to let you guys know I'm sorry for not posting and doing the videos as much as I should. Honestly, we've been so busy. The Capt piers have been crazy with fluke, 3 to 7 pounds. Like almost every day we've been getting giant, flukes, doormats, stuff like that. The big news of the day. We got a 14.3 pound fluke. This is the biggest fluke I've ever seen in my life. It was really crazy. Here's a picture of it. Caught on the Laura Lee. Pretty awesome. Guys, just get out there and fish. It's just the time to go fishing. That's why we've been so busy. Fluke, I already said. Cobia, they've been doing really great. We still haven't weighed in a cobia this year. Please bring me one. I'd love to feature you in this video. Snappers, blowfish, snapper fishing just like on time. We have a bunch of snapper derbies coming up for the kids. Check our Instagram. We have, honestly, it's really just fluke, cobia, snappers, blowfish. You could catch other stuff. We've had sheep's head. We've had porgies, sea bass, like all smorgasbord of fishing. But guys, just get out there and fish. It's that time of the year. So thanks again. We'll see you around.
With the fly and freshwater reports, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Well, this week for me, it's been mostly saltwater fishing. I was able to get out on my boat yesterday. I was out with my daughter and her boyfriend and my wife, of course. And my daughter barely fishes. I don't know where I went wrong. Her boyfriend doesn't fish either. So we were basically fishing for fluke and drifting. And then we saw bluefish, throats of plugs. Everybody caught bluefish. Everybody caught fluke. My wife caught a small sand shark or a dogfish. My daughter's boyfriend, he caught a skate. He caught a nice bluefish. Caught a couple of bluefish, a few small fluke. And since he never fishes, it was great. It was a good time just to be out. I, on the other hand, have been really focusing on fishing, and I really am into this kayak fishing. And it's relatively inexpensive. I had a great time. I'm out here in the local area by me, just fishing, and I've had some luck, but I was out here. That's the whole key, is just to be out here. It's the whole experience. As far as everything else goes, freshwater, there again, it was a warm week, a little bit of rain. The rivers are up a little bit, mostly the spring creeks, which is good because they're staying pretty full and cool enough to fish. And as far as the Housatonic, well, Sean from the Lawyer Fly Rodders, he was up there and he's doing really well on smallmouth. I'm looking forward to get up there. I'm running a trip up there, and if you'd like to come on my trips, go to riverbayoutfitters.com and sign up for my newsletter. And to next week. Tie lines, everybody.
From Huntington, Captain Gaige.
Thanks, Matt. What's up, everybody? Captain Gaige here reporting to you from Huntington Harbor, where I fish 7 days a week for sandcitycharter.com. Check out the website. So in last week's report, I told you the weather had heated up and the boating traffic slowed down. Well, this week, the humidity broke and the boating traffic really ramped up in our area. Sunday was one of the busiest boating days of the season. The whole weekend was super busy. It was great to see all the fishing boats back out there, and it was awesome fishing as well. So Friday, we told you we were going to go check out some black sea bass, but speaking of other captains in my area that do target black sea bass and target the wrecks, the black sea bass bite has not been so great in our area, and there's a big question why. So maybe you guys could help us out with some intel in the comments, and we could figure out why the black sea bass bite is not so great. So we stuck to the bottom. We did porgies and fluke. We got on some giant porgies. We caught a ton of fluke, nothing really size-wise to brag about, and it was a repeat customer from April 15th on Friday, so we had a lot of fun. And then on Saturday, we had a repeat customer from just 2 weeks ago. Anton Jr. brought his magnet fishing kit, so we shot out to Sand City Island, where they were trying to get some artifacts or maybe some sunglasses, anything metallic down there. They threw the magnet around a few times. They didn't get anything with the magnet, so we moved on. We shot out into the bay. Anton Jr., we taught him how to throw the snag hook and snag himself a couple of live bunker for the trip. So we got out there. We had live peanut bunker in the well, we had live bunker, and when we got out into the sound, the birds were working on a big pod. It was great, and we got into some bass. So Anton Jr. caught his first and his second striped bass in that trip, and congratulations to him. They were 26 and 27 inches, so they were unders. They did make their way back, and Anton took a quick photo with him, and we also awarded Anton Jr. for his previous trip. He caught a fish within 2 seconds. He hit the button on the bait caster, he dropped it down. His father, my first mate, and myself all thought he was kidding, because he was like, fish on, and sure enough, the rod was bending and he had a fish in 2 seconds. So we awarded him with the fastest fish on Sand City Charter. We gave him an ugly stick combo so he can go hit the docks and fish for the rest of the summer when he's not on our boat. We love having him here. So that's about it, guys. Fishing's great in our area. We get on the night bike, get out there for the blues and the bass. If you want to join us, give us a shout. Check us out at sandcitycharter.com. Wishing everybody bent rods, tight lines, and I'll see you out on the water. Back to you, Matt.
Let's check on in with Chris Landry.
Thanks, Matt. Well, it's cobia season. After seeing Stephen Green catch a 65-incher, Rockfish catch some cobia, we went out today and mission accomplished. We got a keeper cobia. They're out there, just work the bunker schools. There's tons of bunker schools off Atlantic Beach, a mile out from like 40 feet to 60 feet of water. There's so many bunker schools, just stick and move, hit one. You don't get a cobia in 5 minutes, move to the next one. There's plenty of bunker to go around, so don't get tight at me for sharing this information. Also, Fish in the Atlantic held their battle royale of the cruise, and white crab won over $6,000. Shiva won $5,000 for an 8.5 pound fluke. Frank the Tank won some Yeti gear from Bernie's for the most keepers. Also shout out to Tom Verone, a Rocksteady regular, who last week on Gypsy caught a 10-pound fluke. All right, good job. All right, there's plenty of life out there. There's plenty of tuna out there. They're starting to come closer to mid-shore. You got to get your UVT jigs. 150-gram jigs are doing the trick. Pink Ronzis are doing the trick, or any color Ronzis, but a lot of guys been catching them on pink. All right, I can't share those spots with you because the tuna fishermen get real tight. All right, but let's go out there and we'll all get tight. All right, it's a good time right now. Stay safe, and thank you, Matt. Peace.
From the Western Sound, we have Nuno Decosta from Tyalurs Tackle up in Rye.
Thanks, guys. Nuno here from Tyalurs Tackle in Rye, New York. Let's talk about our inshore fishery first. Striped bass fishing remains decent. That's for the sharpies. Fishing is a little tougher compared to the early season mojo trolling. Getting out there requires maybe you to get some live bait like live bunker. Peanut bunker have moved in, which is a great sign. Lots of reports of bunker moving into the area, and maybe the bluefish will come back. We had them really good in the spring, and then they kind of disappeared, where sporadic catches here and there. The bluefish should be really strong, but with the movement of the new additional bait, including the peanut bunker and the adult bunker, maybe things will change. As far as porgy fishing, it remains good. All the normal Western Sound pieces are holding some fish. Fluke fishing has had a little bit of an uptick with more keepers being reported by our customers, so that's a good sign. We are in the middle of summer, so it's time to take advantage of the weather when you can and get out there and make a catch. Offshore fishing, another story, remains red hot. Lots of areas to the south. The Hudson Canyon areas to the east also producing fish. Lots of yellowfin out there. We just got back from an overnight trip and we had jumbo yellowfin on the chunk at night. Jumbo being 80 to 100 plus pounds on the chunk, which were great. Trolling, we managed to get a bunch of 40 to 50 pounders out there. So good size class of fish out there. Inshore, the bluefin tuna fishing has popped off. Areas off of Jersey and the south shore of Long Island are holding medium to large bluefin out there. Further offshore, you'll find some smaller schoolfish. Mahi fishing has upticked with the warmer water that's moved in. Bunch of swordfish being reported and occasional wahoo also out there. Bottom fishing, if you want to tile fish, guys are finding them. Good numbers of tile fish this season, unlike any other season I've seen before. Maybe because more guys are targeting them, but there's plenty of tile fish around. Guys, the shop is open every single day. We are here from 7 to 7. Come check us out. Also on the website, Tyalurs.com.
Rob Greco of the Long Island Outdoorsman checks in from Rockville Center.
Hello, Fisherman readers. This is Robert Greco from Long Island Outdoorsman giving you this week's fishing report. Starting with the fluke. Inshore fluke bites still good. Surprisingly enough, with the water temperatures being as high as they are, I'm still hearing more keeper fluke being caught in the bay than out by the reefs. Obviously, if you want to try for sea bass, places like Atlantic Beach Reef, Hempstead, Rockaway, all those places out of Deb's Inlet are going to be productive, maybe even like Angler Bank or Cholera. Okay, and there are fluke being caught out there, but I'm still hearing 7-8 pound fish being caught in the bay, Reynolds Channel. As far as cobia goes, it seems to be full swing right now out of Deb's and Jones. Find the bunker, find the fish. I'm hearing reports of fish close to 50 pounds, I believe, through some of the Facebook reports that I saw. My buddy Timmy Russo had a 20-pounder this week. I believe it was yesterday. As far as tuna goes, yellowfin at the Hudson and inshore bluefin. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Crabbing. If you want to do some family time, either at the pier or if you have your own boat, you want to set some traps. Blue claw season is in swing right now. and we should be seeing some snappers. Again, more good family fun. Go out with the snapper poppers, or if you want to do a float with spearing, that's fine too, or a little cast master. Any little metal spoon jig will do the trick, and that'll be it. Thank you guys. Back to you.
The Fisherman magazine, we got our apparel store. We have hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts. They are all online now, and we have free shipping with orders over $100. It is a perfect gift for yourself. Visit thefisherman.com/shop or click on the card in the upper right. Hey, remember to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we do post new content on YouTube. Please do support our correspondents by visiting their websites and their social media pages. Do not forget this video is also available as a podcast on iTunes and Google Music. Search for the Fisherman Magazine podcast and subscribe so you can listen to this broadcast along with our other content. Hey, keep in mind we're going to be dropping 2 videos a week, all from our previous iCast, all new products, what we saw at the show. Remember to be a part of our e-newsletter. Subscribe to the magazine to see this stuff right away. You can check it out on our YouTube as well. Being on that, but also remember, the fishing has been exceptional recently. The fluke bite is held up in the South Shore bays. It's getting better in Montauk. Cobia is showing up right now too. Real exciting, up to 65 pounds. There's giant black drum in the mix also. Got to get out there this weekend. Weather looks great. We'll see you next week.